Welcome to the Roth Show.
Here we go like aviation. I've seen black belts who are 6 and 7 years old earn their black belt in front of a room of screaming, very proud parents. I'm not going to question. Everybody was having a good time. Can you be a black belt at this age or that age? Do you have to be able to do what you did when you were 25 and earned your black belt when you are 55? I don't question. However, I will turn to Captain Tremontana in the helicopter and go, how many hours do you have? And the answer better come back a little bit or a hell of a lot more than 20,000. We trained in jiu-jitsu for 4.5 months, got up to about 150, 200 hours. Classes got longer and longer. Plus, at the end, when you pair off and you do sparring and you try and use your new technique, you got to try and beat up me. Oh! Which is a very therapeutic thing. Remember, what I do for a living is performance therapy. Now, I invented that term, and it may be a result of alkalogic, another term I invented, but I did not invent the condition. And so today I'm wearing blue and white. Não falo suficiente português para falar com vocês. Mente de língua vonês. We're going to do a little Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and our shout out today goes to, I got to see it in the monitor, Hicks and Gracie and everybody. It's been way too long, so I only wear it out of respect. Once a year on Independence Day, us old soldiers show where we served and why my second back surgery had to be easy. Well, that was a slip. Let me clearly distinguish something and extinguish something at the same time. We've all seen fellas wear their honorary black belts and their big beer bellies out onto the tournament floor and go, he got that because the boss eats at his restaurant. And we ate at the restaurant too, so nobody said anything about the fake black belt. I'm a knock-around guy. Ronin. It means wave man, or in English, cork in the current. Wave, tossed, wherever it took me, and I took my celebrity, my rock and roll passport, and I brokered that. Some people use it to go up to Laguna Seca and drive cars. Great. Some people use it to go surfing, and they say, I'm going to call Laird Hamilton, tell him I'm a surfer. He listens to, I would if I was a surfer. Are you kidding? Let's go surfing. I don't know how to surf. I have no idea. I don't know anything about basketball, really. I respect eminently. We do a lot of the same things for the living, legs and lungs. I don't know football. I know that NFL stands for not for long, like in my business, here today, gone later today. So yeah, we have a lot in common. I know the martial arts inside and out because having started as a kid in all the formative points, 40 summers ago when I was Flavor of the Week for the very, very first time, I used my rock and roll celebrity as a passport, as a visa. Who doesn't know the sound of Van Halen if you're involved in contact sports of any kind for about 25, 30 years there? You can't go visit a gym without hearing my stentorian tones. You can't lift weights. You can't do rugby. You can't do soccer practice. Just, it's endless because Van Halen is the sound of movement. We dance all night. We run. We jump. And these songs are really, really, those verbs, I wrote them, I employed them, I bolted them into place, and it all comes with a martial arts kind of a precision, a craft that hopefully is equal to, what Eddie and Alex would do. It's very precise. You can see, even it's not really dancing I do. It's very, it's very specific, and it moves and grooves the same way you do when you're making contact, and that's contact even with a tennis ball. It's the same backhand, you follow, and it's the same laugh. Anybody who's ever played an island rugby player will tell you they didn't even keep track of the score. They seem to have the most fun. Yeah, and then they invited us to a barbecue, and that's when the seam left the picture. It was the best. Our summer of jiu-jitsu with the Hicks and Gracie Academy black belts, most of what I share with you is from what they shared and taught us. Most of these words come from somebody else, and I try not to paraphrase. In fact, Sometimes, do you want me to do this with a Brazilian accent?
Please, yes.
Hey, porra. I'm sorry, I just insulted you, Tom. But that was what they would do down in Rio. Some folks would take a vacation and go surfing on the vacation. Some folks say we're going scuba diving, and that's the pivot of the vacation. Some people are just open about going, we're Vegas, we're going to gamble and drink, and whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's the pivot of the vacation. And I would take martial arts vacations and contact whoever the kung fu specialist was in Miami, or I moved to Tokyo for 2 years. I put my dog Russ on the airplane, packed up my guitar, tuned it to open C so it'd do okay with this, humidity change and everybody loves open C, fuck. And moved to Tokyo to work out with this fella. And at night, there's not a lot to do for a pale face who's kind of struggling through the language, so I got a brand new paint job. And I got to know those folks as well. But this is part of the martial arts as well. For 1 year, I would base everything around Matt Serra when he was a brown belt. And I would go to New York for 3 weeks, and I would train with Matt 2-3 times a week. Come on, you train with Matt twice a week, even when I was young and feistier. You're going to need your off days. Rest is very important. God, I hated hearing that shit. They weren't lying to me. A lot of what I know and what I can talk about, I learned from Matt when he was with the Hoist Gracie Academy. One of the Gracies was there. Matt Serra earned his black belt and showed up with him for class the next morning. Hey, guess what? Last night, me and So-So got my black belt. I was there for some history, and I've learned some of my best moves and my best ideals and ideas from these folks. That was New York City. Did everything I could to get from the road to New York City. Spend a week, go train, go back out on the road, come back, do 2.5 weeks. Here's my summer, and I got a bunch of hours with Matt Serra. Again, I don't know the colors of the belts, and I've always had a real disdain for somebody who's going to say, yes, I got this from Master Timothy, 14th degree Cobra termite style. Actually, termite style might actually be good. Matt, send us your Academy shirt. We'll wear it on the air and tell great things about you, and then you can raise your prices. Don't laugh, but do. But don't. Perhaps this is a deception. Why does karate move so fast and Tai Chi moves so slow? Tom, do you know why?
I do not.
Answer slowly.
I do not.
Because karate is different than Tai Chi in that Tai Chi charges by the hour.